Dragon Ball Z movie 11. How how did it come to this? How is it possible that a movie featuring one of the most beloved villains in the franchise can be this forgettable? So the main reason why it's ignored is mainly nothing stands out. There's no big scene with Goku using a new transformation, no signature move being used to defeat the enemy, but that alone doesn't make the movie bad, right? As the action is good, Bio Broly's power is justified considering it's a clone of Broly, and every scene with Mr. Satan is hilarious. How can this be bad? So let's get into the story of Bio Broly, which is about some antagonist who is Mr. Satan's former martial arts rival. He's some rich and fat dude. He wants to humiliate Mr. Satan by letting him get beat up by fighters made through biotechnology. So he blackmails him so Mr. Satan accepts his challenge. Goten and Trunks alongside Android 18 get involved because 18 wants the prize money Mr. Satan promised. This movie should take place around the time the last DBZ tournament was. Oh, it was the one in the Buu saga exactly, which was interrupted. So it takes place after that, but it doesn't really fit considering Goten and Trunks don't fuse. You can make your own headcanon how that's supposed to work, but it's one of those kinds of movies, so you can fit it in the main timeline. Turns out one of the Bio Warriors is a clone of Broly. It looks hideous, which honestly makes me not want him in a video game I'm playing currently. And when people say Broly has no personalities, they probably talk about Bio Broly. This guy doesn't speak and does random shit, destroys without any indication, no mimic, no nothing. And he's not the only antagonist. Weird Goo, some Weird Goo is also the enemy, which whatever it touches, which is organic, gets absorbed. Sabin, through Mr. Satan giving Mr. Goten a clue on what its weakness is, which is basically salt water. And that's very underwhelming defeat. But it is better what many people let you believe. It's not as bad as Battle of the Gods or Revival of F, and no one can argue it really ruined Broly's character considering that's the job from that's Dragon Ball Z movie 10's job. Bio Broly is his own entity. If that was the case, then the new Broly would also ruin the old Broly. And this movie also tried to focus on a different cast of characters that usually don't get involved or get minimal roles. So we have Android 18, she does something. The main characters want revenge on Mr. Satan. You have Goten and Trunks as the lead. Sadly, Goten and Trunks just aren't interesting characters, and the movie wasted an opportunity to make us care for them. But there is also they were also annoying in movie 10, so, and parody characters in the Buu saga that made the arc worse. Now, starring them in a movie was pretty risky and didn't pay off simply because they are goofballs. It also seems like the writers wanted to make the Dragon Ball movie in a style of the original. More comedic, child protagonists, midget antagonists similar to Commander Red, which both have immense resources to get what they want. And I think that's a problem because people usually don't watch Dragon Ball Z to see these kinds of things anymore, especially in a movie starring freaking Broly. a story with a character with a deep backstory, lots of symbolic imagery and muscle-bound brawls. So Broly fans were disappointed too. Even if you like those things I mentioned before, it fails to capture the essence of the original Dragon Ball, since Goten and Trunks, unlike Goku, an outcast of society, so they can't fit into similar situation like where Kid Goku would have worked better, which leaves all parties were disappointed. Overall, the visuals are great, yes, the original soundtrack is good, the fight against Bio Broly was engaging, but just like Gotenks vs Super Buu, it was pretty forgettable. I recommend to anyone not to watch this movie, but it's not as bad as many made it out to be.